The innovation process, in my view, has to be both systematic as well as predictable. Predictable in terms of setting the expectation that when a cross-functional team of people activate this innovation process, what should result is a portfolio of disruptive, of incremental, of breakthrough, of different types of products, services, and business models that can serve and address the innovation goal and strategy that's now already been set. So what's this process look like? The first step of the process is not idea generation. The first step of the process is doing market research, going out into the marketplace, and I think it's important to do it in person because I call it ethnographic research. It's going out and talking to people, whether it's B2B customers or B2C consumers, in the context of the category in which you're trying to conduct the research. It's going to their homes, it's going to their offices, it's going to a B2B plant, it's going to places where people work and live. In that context, you get a much better understanding of what people's behaviors really are. In addition, however, I think doing qualitative research in focus groups, one-on-ones, two-on-ones, individual interviews, phone interviews, can be a really important piece of this overall first step of the innovation process. What do we want to try to get out of that? We want to try to get a prioritized set of needs or opportunities. What are customers or consumers' biggest desires, biggest worries, biggest problems? Don't have any answers yet, but if we're able to understand which of those have the highest need intensity, then we've got a much better shot, a much better capability of coming up with high-powered solutions that if they address those needs, we'll probably be able to capture value for ourselves. So that's really the first step of the process. The second step is solution generation. Now what we're trying to do is bring teams of people together and conduct idea generation sessions, but sessions that are geared towards solving the problems, addressing the needs of the wants and desires that we identified in that qualitative research step. We should, if we go and have 4 or 5 of these sessions with perhaps 10 people in each session, we should be able to generate usually at least 100 or maybe even 200 different ideas. Then the hard part comes in screening those 200 ideas down to probably around 15 or 20, that then what we'll do is convert those into concept boards that really begin to describe the name, the value proposition, potential price ranges, but really it's about enabling us to talk about each one of those concepts in a way with customers or consumers that will enable us to get feedback from them. That feedback we then use to reshape the concept. We may change some things, we may increase, take away, but that's the step that enables us to really increase the value proposition of whatever that new innovation might be. Then we're ready for the next step, which is business case development. We got to figure out how we're going to make money. How are we going to monetize this innovation in the best way that both matches the price point expectations of the consumer or the customer with our internal screening criteria or margin expectations for an innovation of this type. It's hard to put together a business case because for each new concept, you have to create a revenue stream, cost expectations, and at least be able to get to a gross profit margin on every new innovation, along with how much capital is going to be required to be invested and what return are you expecting to gain from it. After business cases have been developed, senior management can then look at those 10 or 15 now opportunities and say, let's start working on the prototype development for these 5. or 6. But it's important to continue to push a portfolio of different types of innovations through this innovation process. The next step is really scale up. So how do we now take this prototype, take this new service idea, take this new app, take this new technological product that we've created, and now get it launched into the marketplace? So that's going to take a go-to-market strategy, a production plan, and a communication strategy that enables us to spend the money in the right way to build awareness and stimulate trial for this new innovation. The last step is launch, but I don't think that's the end of the process, because I think for a good 6 to 12 months after a new product or service has been launched, it still has to be viewed as part of the innovation process. It still needs to have a lot of nurturing and changes that are being made to it. But a team that uses this type of a systematic process, here's what I think they can expect to get. For every 10 new products or services that are launched in the marketplace, a company that really has the right mindset and strategy and culture and leadership and uses this process should be able to achieve roughly a 60% success rate. Now that means that 40% of those 10 won't make it, won't succeed, but that's part of the innovation process. Accepting the fact that we want to have a portfolio that has a high enough level of risk that can generate a high level of return. So the innovation process, in short, is a systematic approach to getting commercialized products, services, and businesses into the marketplace.